There I am. Hello. Oh my goodness. Hello everybody. It's Brian, and it is Friday, and it is the week after Hacker Summer Camp, which, for those of you who watch the show or stream, knows that I was prepping there. Whooping you oh, sorry. Let me show you what it is. So there you go. It's really the Defcon media server. So there's a bunch of stuff on there. One second. Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, what's up?
Hello.
Yes, hello.
I called the pest guy.
Okay. Okay, will do. Okay. All right, bye. That's my lovely wife. I will be back in a second. Anyway, so the link that I posted up here is really to the Defcon media server, where you can get music. Some of the music is in FLAC and Opus as well, and some of the presentations from the villages, from the areas there. So you got. I don't know if they make you pay for the videos. Okay, so this is demos from that. Okay, so that's cool. I do know it does seem like, oh yeah, shirt. There we go. I think if you want the actual talks themselves, you have to go to I think they make you pay for them. So if you didn't get to see the talks, or you were hanging out in the villages for the most part, that is, yeah, I think you do have to pay for those at some point. But there's a ton of PDFs. There's a ton of content here. You can just watch the the various demos that happen and occur through that. So that's what it is. Yeah. I will be right back. I have to tell the pest guy where to spray. So, yeah, well, I'll be right back. So talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Come on, buddy. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Don't leave. I lost a viewer. My bad. Okay. Anyway, so hope you enjoy. Some of the music is pretty good. This is all public as far as I know. Some of the music skews anywhere between heavy techno and Sorry about that. This is Alex Acacia's Ghost in the Shell. It's all in Opus and FLAC, which are notoriously open audio codecs. FLAC is, of course, lossless. Opus is like the more open type of MP3. Okay. All right, then. Some of it's really like banging. Yeah, is that what the kids say? Banging. So very heavy, and I would almost call that industrial, techno kind of stuff. You know, and kind of in keeping with the theme of this year, where it was the idea was you know, 19, you know, early aughts, Defcon 32. It had an interesting color combination, which did not fit my palette at all. But you see the hardware aesthetic. You know, the colors are a bit, everything's fluorescent or what have you. Oh, it's one of my keepsakes that I have now. I am now an official provisional goon, if you will. The badge itself was the subject of a bit of controversy, which we will talk about maybe officially in official ways. There may be some inside baseball that I'm not privy to, or I'm aware of all the facts. But so they had a bunch of these little add-ons you could add to SAO, which is, I found out that every year there's an SAO. So once they got these pinouts, then it was really nice. Now, I've not activated this, but from what I gathered, there's a bunch of lights. There's a Game Boy emulator on here. There's a website you can go to for, was it defcon.lol? What was it? No, but there was a couple of links to Defcon site where you could get ROMs, and I have a badge now, so I'm a sock goon. So I'm a provisional sock goon as it is, but I figured out SAO means shitty add-on. Somebody told me that. That's fairly well known apparently, except to me. So, you know, somebody gave me that one. They had all kinds all over the place. It was like every village seemed to have an SAO for the badge, and it does various things. I have not plugged it in. The battery is still unplugged on the back. Hasn't become a spicy pillow, but it is a very cool badge. There was a lot going on with that. There's even people who had printed up these little bits here to make it more friendly to play games, because it was more like, you know, you could play a game. There was a Game Boy Color emulator and ROMs on here. You can, you know, power it up and turn the lights on and make the lights flash and everything. I had, you know, not done that. I actually haven't figured out how to open it yet either, so there must be a way to open it. Several people did. As a matter of fact, several people dropped theirs and broke them, so I know that it does open. But I have not played with it yet. Honestly, don't know what I'm going to do with it. The other thing was we had several issues with people, because as you can see, I've got some black string on here on the badge. I cannibalized my Defcon backpack that they gave us for some of the paracord so that I could hack, you know, the thing, because they had these little bits on here, which later I found out that the little hooks on there would break. And several times as a goon, I had somebody coming up going, oh, mine broke. And I was like, well, you can go over to, you know, Human Reg or Inhuman Reg to see if they have any more of these things. Several people figured out there were carabiners. You can, you know, do what you can to hack the badge to make it so that it would work. And so this worked for me. I came up with that plan like on Wednesday night when I got this. A lot of various challenge coins. This one was very interesting. This one come from the, hold on, can't see shit, it's really tiny. So this came from the Bug Bounty Village, which was a brand new village this year. Nice sized, very hefty. I would say card topper, if you so understand that what a card topper is. You know, it's got a, you know, it's fairly hefty. Very solid. Stickers galore all over the place. I also have some other, I did not realize how much Defcon does for like collectibles. I had several people walk up to me asking me if I had, you know, hacker coin for the goons and stuff, because us goons got food tokens basically for going down to the food court and being able to buy stuff with. And I have actually have better than $100 worth of this that people gave me because they weren't at the parties, or they weren't able to use them. We could use them for things like drinks or what have you. There was other collectibles that we had that I wasn't even privy to. the Magic the Gathering cards that was out there. There was somebody, I think you get a black badge if you can complete the entire deck. Didn't even know that they had 100 and some odd of those. I have a couple here, but I think I have the ones that everyone else got, which is, this one says Sock Goon on the back, and this one says just regular Goon. So I have these, which, as a noob, I didn't, I wasn't sure what to expect when I got there. We drove in Wednesday, got there about 5:30, and Inhuman Reg had finished for all the goons, so we had to go up to the SOC, which is our command post where we have communications and things. And so got my badges and got some things, met a bunch of people, met, several folks who, I'm now very good friends with, and people that I did not realize that I had known for several years and didn't realize they were goons. As a matter of fact, Survivatrix, who the last time I saw her, she was speaking at the Mental Health Village at DerbyCon in 2019, or in 2019, just before it ended. About her experiences with being in a coma and having brainstem damage and what have you. And last time I saw her, she had an eye patch, and she really relied on her service animal. And I was sitting down at a break and saw this lady in red hair walk by, and she turns and looks at me. She's like, "Brian?" I'm like, "Oh my God." And yeah, it was amazing to see how far she's come in 5 years, it was 5 freaking years since I've seen her. So it was great to see all the friends and people, Investigator Chick, Mick Douglas, who I talked to him a little bit about concierge, just in the hallway. He's got some excellent things that he wants to come on the show and talk about, his AI platform. And so, but I had mental health problems around 20. Oh, sorry to hear about that, whooping you. Yeah, I hope you're doing better. I am. My biggest issue with Defcon was not the number of people. I didn't actually, that didn't bother me too much. It was my first Defcon, which when you mention it's your first Defcon and you mention it's the first time gooning at Defcon, people kind of look at you funny. They're like, "Your first Defcon, you're gooning," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah." It's you have to start sometime. So, well, I'm good. I'm glad about that. You said you're doing much better? Do you have a therapist? Are you seeing therapy people? Or just tell us if you are. Therapy is something that everybody should be, getting if they feel like they need it. So I'm glad you're getting your assistance with that and making sure that you're taking care of yourself. But yeah, let me put some stuff away here. My desk is a nightmare. I unpacked my bags, and the one thing about driving, I will say, is it allows you more freedom to bring things. I probably did overpack because I had thought, potentially I'd be streaming at the conference. And after an early 6:30 wake up, and then, having to stand up for long periods of time, dealing with line con and what have you, it was an exhausting day. So I ended up going back to my room, the 3-2-1 that we tell people. Yes, I had some therapy, but the main thing is changing attitudes and awareness in general. It's much easier to be open with people these days without fear of being stigmatized. Yeah, between 2011 and I would say 2020, whooping you. I would say mental health issues have gotten less stigmatized, because I think, especially with the pandemic being the way it was, I think it laid bare a lot of issues that people have, right? That was I don't want to say once in a lifetime thing, because it seems to have happened once in everybody's lifetime, because in 1918 they had something similar. They just, I don't know if they handled it better or if they had the same kinds of issues, but Spanish flu in 1918 killed millions of people, but I think now with mental health issues are being more brought to light by professionals, by athletes, Olympians, normal people. I'd say normal people. I'm talking about the difference between Olympians and like myself. I'm a normal person. I think having that openness is really good. I think we saw that with Matthew Perry, even though we did find out that he was, I don't want to say helped along, but it was unfortunate to hear that his mental health issues caused him his life and caused him to embrace people who took advantage of him. So if anything, it's interesting that people would take advantage of him like that, and because of his celebrity and the fact that he has money and he was on a high at that point. A high being he just published his book and they had the Friends reunion and what have you. But yeah, it was it's good to see, especially in our industry, we had quiet chills places. We had a hotline, which I thought was great, the Defcon hotline, which I don't know is still manned, but let me see, where is the Defcon? I remember Rando had posted it up on Twitter pretty much every day of the conference. But if you were having issues at the conference, at least Defcon, there was a number that you could call that you could get help from, or reach out to somebody who you may have been having some issues coping with all the people in the area. So it was great to, where is it? Yes, here's Survivatrix, awesome lady. Did not realize she was Goon too. This is us in the main hall right outside. Sorry, that person right there, my bad. I think she was a Goon too, so it was all right. But yeah, it was good to see her. She actually said she didn't need her service animal as much, and she had left the buddy at home to make sure that we didn't have any issues. Yeah, there was a ton of people. It was like, how did we not see each other? Like my friend Megan and Frank. Frank is good people. Blue Team Con's coming up, by the way. If you're interested, 5 to 8 September. It's going to be in Chicago. Go hang out with Frank at Blue Team Con. He's an excellent human being. So, a goon. There are. I think it's a. So, in the generic term, a goon is not a stupid, foolish, or eccentric. Well, no. This is not correct either. Yes, those are not good. I think what we're, God damn it. So when I think of goon, I think of like Batman 66. So the what you might see here is all, it's supposed to be kind of a joke, but so Batman 66, there we go. So these are goons. They'd be huge, faceless people helping out. They're not bad people, unlike these folks. I actually thought about making a goon shirt next year. This is the Grand Order of Occidental Nighthawks, but a goon for us we're the SOC, we're the vendor help. We do the NOC, network operations. We handle Wi-Fi. We also do safety operations, because that's what I am. I'm not a security goon. The one thing they wanted to tell us was we're not security, we're safety. The idea is to make sure that the humans, which are you, are having the best time that they can possibly have. And sometimes, and when you go to like the Defcon Reddit, you hear people talking about how bad the goons are. They yelled at us. And I will say that I'm only a provisional goon right now, or a noon. Post Defcon, there is discussion about whether or not your performance allows you to come back and be a goon again. Once you become in your second year, you're technically a goon. I am a noon, which would be a new goon. And then there's other levels. We've had people who've been doing. I talked to one of the info goons, had been doing this for about 25 years. 25 years. I cannot imagine what it was like 25 years ago doing this at Defcon. Yeah, so these in this case, let me see. Is there a better? I thought I saw one. Let me see. What Kia, yeah. So it was a Lexus Park, and it was I would say a much smaller, much more intimate gathering of people. So yeah, I would say it would have been far different than what it is. But even now, there's been changes that have been made. Goons, mooks, those kind of things. Goon, mook definition. It's just no. Yeah, mook. No. I had a good. I was actually, yeah. Here we go. So this is what I was looking for. A mook, or a goon in this case, is a anonymous foe that appears in large numbers and is readily dispatched by the hero. So goons and mooks, like in Batman, you have your hench people, or they're the minor characters that James Bond has to fight through that get their ass whooped on a regular basis. I'm sure it actually might stand for something else. I just don't know what that is. But yeah, that was always my understanding of what a goon is. In this case, but so this is an interesting video that got posted. I think that's Deviant. I think Deviant posted that. Let me double check. Yeah, so Deviant. So if you were at DEF CON and you want to understand from a I would say more objective approach, there's a discussion about what happened and the controversy with the DEF CON badge. I'm not going to mention or comment on anything in an official capacity. And one, I don't want to ruin my chances of being a goon next year because I know where my bread's buttered, folks. But there was a few things that went on. You can actually listen. Deviant has a better Deviant Olam, who runs that YouTube channel, and he's got some good stuff on there. It's a good explanation of kind of what happened from both sides, and but it's really good. And then the Resorts World issue that came up, where Resorts World was actually they had put out a press release. Where's the press release? Here it is. So they said, "Thank you, welcome to Resorts World. We're pleased to have you join us. As you may or may not know, a well-known hacking convention will be held in Las Vegas during your stay. We remain committed to our guests' safety and understand the utmost importance of cybersecurity as well. In an effort to increase the safety of our guests, who, and it should be known that Resorts World had a room block for DEF CON, and that people who have attended DEF CON stayed at Resorts World, and some got this note, some did not. We will be conducting scheduled, brief, visual and non-intrusive room inspections daily beginning August 5th. Rooms with a privacy sign will be included, so don't even bother putting the privacy sign out. If you have any questions, please contact hotel operator." I did not stay there. I stayed at the Rio because that's where the Goon room block was, and there was a bunch of other folks that stayed there as well. But it was interesting. They, depending on who you talk to, and I think there was some folks who had mentioned it on this thread, that there were, a lot of hotels in Vegas were implementing these checks, regardless if you put the Do Not Disturb on after the 2017 shooting at Mandalay Bay. And, but yeah, so some of the folks said that maybe Resorts World came in and was a little too brusque. They came in at different times. Some people were actually sleeping and were asked to leave the rooms. But yeah, there was some discussion there, but it was kind of interesting. Yeah, there could have been an awesome social engineering letter. It definitely was not. So yeah, there was actually additional handouts that somebody had said came from. Now I cannot confirm nor deny this. Because I actually can't confirm or deny them, unlike, where you normally hear that thing. This was a handout that was seen and suggested that this is what the security people were looking for at Resort World, which, as you can see, is a Flipper Zero, a breadboard, which could be used for anything. There was a, what is this? Some kind of hardware device, a circuit board that may or may not be a Raspberry Pi. I don't know. It looks like it might have a VGA out here. Soldering tools. So if it has soldering tools, it's bad. FT232, I think that's probably USB to USB-C kind of connector. Various connections here. Oh, and lockpicks. So if you had lockpicks in there. Yeah, there's other things as well. Here's some Wi-Fi. You know, they're looking for USB sticks. This looks like the ADS-B badge from the Aerospace Village, but this is a badge. You know, I don't know, and this is some kind of weird shit with a wand and a bunch of wireless, you know, connectors. So I'm not sure what's up with that. This is a Wi-Fi pineapple, of course, which, you know, can be used to launch attacks or be used in a good manner and a bad manner. So they wanted you to go and look for those things. This is what was suggested. So yeah, security no later than 9 a.m. housekeeping assistant director will run and print room list. So somebody had found all these information here. And so yeah, upwards of 1,000 rooms on peak. So we did not stay there, but there was enough reports about the rooms being painful. I know you can't comment, but doing room searches is a breach of privacy, and I found it disgusting. Yes, I completely agree. You know, I fully expected them to come in and make up my room anyway if I'd put the you know, in the Rio. You know, I left stuff in my room. I had my Surface in my room. It was in a bag. So I had it in my suitcase, in my backpack. You know, we did hear that there was other hotels that also had things taken. It's really weird. So yeah, I don't know if it was, yeah. So I don't know about the other pictures. I mean, anybody could have. I don't know if these are official from Resort World or where they came from. The picture itself looks a little too, I don't know, pre-produced. So, you know, like somebody, you know, added some icons off of Google to make sure that these were things that people were looking for. So I cannot comment if these are legitimate Resort World handouts to security. I don't know who got them or what have you. But yeah, a lot of this stuff you're going to find at a hacker conference, especially if you're hanging out in the hardware village or if you are a tinker of things, or if you brought your own soldering kit or lockpicks, which a lot of people did when they went to the lockpick village, or, you know, and thumb drives. Okay, I would say even, you know, business people would have thumb drives. But yeah, I mean, there was a ton of stuff here. So, yeah, Resort World, not good. Actually, it was kind of funny that like a day after, Resorts World got hit with a lawsuit, I believe, for, yeah, allowing illegal gambling activity, which I did have to go, haha, schadenfreude on that. But yeah, they're accused of allowing illegal bookmakers to play at the casino. Suspected or known felons wagering included Matthew Bauer, which pled guilty to operating an unlawful gambling business, money laundering, and subscribing a false tax return. Edward Ting, and yeah, a couple of other folks. So kind of funny that happened to Resort World a day after that. Hopefully bad things will happen to Resort World, and I will have to think twice before going to another Hilton property for a while. So it's unfortunate, but yeah. So there was other room blocks you could get into. They had the Fontainebleau. They had Sahara. Being a new venue, we were still learning the ropes. I think everybody was learning the ropes, but I think overall everyone loved the fact that you didn't have to walk like across the street to a different hotel to get to things that you needed. I heard in the past it was like that, where you walk over to Caesars, you go do things over here, and then it's like you got to walk over to another place, the Rio, for instance, to get the talks. Transportation was solid. There was a bus that went from the Rio to the convention center. It took about 12 to 15 minutes every day. Completely solid. I was actually more concerned about that because I've rarely seen a transportation system that wasn't late or had issues or broke down or whatever. It was 100% of the time it worked every time. There was at least 2 to 3 buses that was available. Everything left at the top or the half hour. I mean, right on the dot, or when a bus got full. That was great, especially for the goons who had to get in at like 6 in the morning to start first shift, that's when I started on Thursday, and then it was 6:30, 7:30, 7:30, and then 8:30. The Rio was great as a hotel. They were doing a lot of reconstruction at the time, except for the last night, Monday night, when we stayed after Cabana Con, which was something for the goons. They had changed the air conditioning vents to apparently funnel all of the cigarette smoke from the main floor of the casino and from the 1980s and 90s apparently up into all the rooms. So exactly whooping you. Yeah, it smelled like an ashtray in the room from about midnight to 6 a.m. when I finally decided, fuck it, I'm going to get up, breathe. It was one of the few times I was like, I should bring a mask. And there was a lot of people at Defcon wearing masks because of the COVID or con crud. I did not wear a mask, and thankfully I did not have to suffer from COVID. I tested negative last night because my wife was concerned about that. No con crud to speak of. I actually did find that multivitamins. Oh, interesting. So I have my chroma in the back, and this is green, so it yeah, multivitamin is great, and electrolytes. So multivitamin and electrolytes was excellent. Definitely take those the next time you go. The other thing that I didn't take that I ended up having to get was lip balm. Yeah, it's miracle food, but it's green. So let me see. Nope. Nope. Okay. Anyway. But yeah, and tons of stickers. So many stickers. So many. Yeah, I have. Oh, here we go. Here's the number for the. Yeah, that's the number for the hotline. You could call it during DEF CON 24/7. We had people manning it 24 hours a day, 6 days of the conference. Yeah, so that's the forever number for it. So if you ever need someone to talk to during DEF CON or Hacker Summer Camp, you might be able to call it now if you were having some kind of issues. I'm sure somebody would answer the phone, or at least be able to you can text or call or what have you. But yeah, we carried those around because it was like, we wanted to make sure that if people was having distress or medical issues or, didn't feel safe, that they had somebody they could talk to that was safe. And Ada Zebra and a bunch of folks did a really great job of handling that. If you went to DEF CON, you might have heard the transparency report about that afterwards, but so many stickers. I mean, we had, all kinds of stuff that you could get. The one thing I did like was the stickers aren't vendor stickers. I didn't have too many vendor stickers. I have an AppSec Village one here, which is kind of nice. And yeah, I mean, whooping you, the hotline is very important to us. We love the folks that handle the hotline. Unfortunately, the hotline got a lot of, so if this is like 911, then you had people calling in asking about, when this talk was happening. So we wish that people who went to DEF CON wouldn't call the hotline, because this is for, more mental health issues or people who are feeling overwhelmed, instead of asking, hey, when's that talk going to happen? Every person that is asking, hey, when's that talk going to happen? There may be somebody who's trying to call and, get some real help. Different kind of help, a help that was designed for that hotline. So yeah, tons of stickers, a lot of excellent, good content. So the big thing was you don't put stickers on the walls at the convention center. So somebody created a sticker for sticker removal, sticker removal core, and it was a sticker. Thankfully, I didn't see any of these on a wall, but that was kind of fun. yeah, let's make, tons of, and some of these are really excellent and took a lot of time to create and make. So Sticker Mule and all them, and Canva and those have definitely made their money. This one was one of my favorites, the Disobey with, I actually have legitimate stress now about putting them on my laptop because there's so many good ones here that I don't, I got some Red Team Village ones. They had patches, they had, pins. I mean, so this was from the Biohacking Village. It's so the blue parts are actually green, and it is a DNA helix and a wrench. So this was from the Biohacking Village that happened. Various sizes. I mean, you've got this one that's kind of big. It says, in case of an investigation by any federal entity or similar, I do not have any involvement with this group or with the people in it. I do not know how I am here, possibly added by a third party. I do not support any actions by the member of this group. So, there are various sizes, so it's pretty funny. Yeah, the Disobey one is good. The Red Hat Village, or Red Team Village, there's actually two, like, Red Team villages. There was an Adversary Village, which I believe was down in the main big area. I don't know what we called it. It was in the village area. The village area of Defcon had, we had 4 tracks where people could talk, and then there was all the villages. There was the Biohacking Village, the Vendor Pit, the Aerospace Village, Lockpick. There was a DARPA village. There was an AI village that was ran by DARPA. There was a car hacking village where you could, hack a Tesla. There was a Rivi in there, and they had all kinds of stuff. People had infotainment systems plugged into things that were powered. Just there was just so much to see and do. As a goon, I walked around a lot of that, mostly patrolling, making sure everybody's behaving. And for the most part, well, not even for the most part, I was told that this was a very boring conference for us, where we didn't have a ton of things go wrong. Everybody was really nice. Like I said, everyone loved the convention center, which was great. So yeah, this one is a limited edition one that Survivatrix gave me, because that one was pretty awesome. Packet Hacking Village was another one that was really excellent. I actually got to see the Wall of Sheep for the first time ever. I was disappointed. I expected more, actually. I don't know what I was thinking, but I walked up and there was a projector screen, a projector showing what amounted to look like either something was sniffing wireless in promiscuous mode, or it was doing Ethernet in promiscuous mode. It's my dream to go to Defcon one day. Since the first Defcon, I've always wanted to go. I'm from the UK. It's on my bucket list. There was a lot of people from the UK. Several from Germany, a lot of folks from the Asia Pacific region. It is pretty much a worldwide event, and I want to say I think there's going to be more complete numbers, but I think it was around 30,000 people, which we had 300,000 square feet, so we had plenty of room, which means we have room to get bigger now. I'm interested in what that means. If that's something that we're gonna do. So maybe next year we'll have 45,000 people. But yeah. So here's another one, Only WANs. So there was an Only WANs ticket card right there. But they're not vendor ones, which was great. So we had this one was nice. This has some nice artwork on it as well. So this is one of the AppSec Village ones as well. I walked in there on Sunday and they still had some stuff up. I think this is a vendor badge, but I'm not exactly sure. It says, I think it's a blue owl. So that was a good one. These are ones you can put on without being like, hey, I rep at Rapid 7 or whatever. So if this is a vendor badge, or a vendor pin, then they've done a very good job of this. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I kept telling people I'm not anti-conference. I just don't care about the conference stuff, I would much rather. I was entirely okay being a SOC goon and not seeing any talks or hanging out in any of the villages, because one, I didn't bring my laptop, so I couldn't do much in the villages if I didn't have my laptop with me. I had gone all the way back to the Rio, and at that point it was like, yeah, I just didn't want to go back to the convention center. And so, I got to see a lot of the Olympics in the evenings. Did not attend any of the DJ stuff. Did not. Oh yeah, I got some cards from friends of mine that were working. Oh, Survivatrix. Yes. The other thing I learned is there's a lot of people there that still like hacker handles, especially the goons. So I had to actually make one. I've been using Berber for a while because BRBR, but here's another one. I might be out of spells, but I'm not out of shells. That one's pretty funny. It's got a Gandalf looking motherfucker on there with a screen. Someone called Float On. That was pretty good. And this is here's Life's a Breach. This is another one here. Oh, here's a patch. So the Red Team Village has patches that are in Velcro. So you can, put those on the back of your backpacks and stuff like that. But if everybody enjoyed themselves and as a goon I saw that, then I've done my job. And maybe I'll try second or third shift next time, so I'll get to enjoy some of the DJ and some of the early morning hilarity that happens from the third shift folks. I think they work from like 11 to 3 a.m. And then, there's no overlap between third shift and first shift. So it was like we had to, every night they had to clear the building, get people on buses or wherever they needed to go home. And so Rage Against the Printer. There's another one, Rage Against the Printer. There's some writing on the back. Because security is all about relations between humans who all need to understand why. I know the community like no one else. I get ideas. Some are even good. I have a lifetime of real practical experience, which I love to put to good use. Also, I'm a great guy to work with. Get in touch for a chat. So this was a relationsec.net. Apparently this person was needing a job or looking for a new opportunity. So created a sticker and was handing them out. Has a little bit on the back for that. So if you're an interesting idea to do if you're looking for a job. So I might reach out to that person, see if they want to come on our show. But yeah, so and then there's Acid Burn. Here's another one. But yeah, I actually enjoyed myself. I loved seeing everything that people were dressed up as. I saw pirates. I saw furries. I saw people in chicken suits. I saw so much to do. So many people. I saw several workmates. Some people that were at work. I got some shirts. Really, right now. Yeah, definitely smart to have stickers about your, work status. There we go. I think we're a little better. Yeah, there was a ton of stuff here about various things at Defcon that happened. Yeah, somebody said here, I'm a noob at Defcon. I had a lot of fun. I went to Defcon without knowing anyone. I work in a security adjacent field, DevOps and SRE, which is great. 6 hour. Oh, so if you were at Defcon, one of the thing on Thursday was LineCon, and there was a pre-registration line, which if you pre-ordered your badge, there was a line to get into to go get your badge. And then, of course, traditionally, historically, I guess, there's the cash-only line. Unfortunately, it feels like everybody decided to pre-register, and everybody pre-registered because I guess they thought, well, I'll be guaranteed a badge. Which, to be fair, everybody I think got a badge. If you went and you were a human, it was white as a white outline, and you got a human bit here. Press had a green badge, I think. I want to say the vendors were blue or purple. Speakers were gold. they all have like goon or speaker or press or whatever. I remember, one other one that was of note that I kept. This was a 3D printed hack. It was, it's not sticky, but it's, 3D printed. And this guy was handing out 3D printed. I guess you could put a Velcro bit on the back and, have a badge or something. So that was pretty cool. Somebody with a press badge came in, and the first thing I said was, "Hi, how you doing? What are you looking for?" As SOC goons, trying to get people directed where they need to be. And she said, "I'm looking for the press room," and pointed her to the press room. And I was like, "What podcast or stream do you have?" She's like, "I write for Fortune magazine." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Yes, press room's up and to the left," and kind of. I don't want to say hurt, but it was like, it almost felt like, she was like, no, I'm a real person and a real member of the press. I was like, yeah, I should have pulled the press card on mine since, my podcast and stream, which I've done before. I did that at DerbyCon. I asked them for a press badge and they were kind enough to give me one. Meet any famous hackers? I know that Weldapond was there. Some of the folk, I think, from the Loft days, one of my friends, Heidi, who's working as a goon for the Defcon kids section, which there was 150 kids at Defcon as well, ages, I think she said 5 up until about, 13, 14, which is great because, there's no barrier to going to Defcon. And if your child is below the age of 9, I think we were giving away tickets for free for the kids. They're also really good at Lockpick Village, so. They were the best of the best back in the day. I think the pool, though, when Loft was at their peak, was there were less people that were as public as them. I think famous people. I don't know. There were people that I definitely knew, but I don't know if they were hackers. There was. It was good. It was good though. But the lines for pre-RegCon, and then once people got their badges, it was like everyone moved over to the merch line. The merch line was epic. I mean, it was, some people said they spent 6 hours in line. I would say that was, depending on when you got in line, that was about the average. There was definitely people who were in line all day from about 9 o'clock to, I think, when it closed at 6 p.m. on the first day. There was definitely some people who stood in line for that long for t-shirts or paraphernalia from Defcon. I had to keep asking myself why. Why would they stand in line for a t-shirt or a shot glass or stickers? Or because I think shop.defcon.com, Defcon shopping. Merchandise, here we go. So you could go to the Hacker Tracker app and go look and see what they had merchandise for sale. Okay, so they don't have anything in here anymore, but they had a list of things you could get and seeing about once in a lifetime opportunity for some maybe. I could see that whooping you. That's entirely possible. If you want to. Yeah, I guess if your company doesn't pay for it and you're paying out of pocket, it might be worth it. I do know that a lot of people said they just stood in line to hang out with people and talk and chat. It really and a lot of people enjoyed it. There were some people that, of course, it was hard to stand up for a long period of time, or I've got to go eat, or hey, I need to go to the bathroom. Will you let me back in? That kind of thing. The line did go past several bathrooms, which was great. So then it didn't move very fast, so you could potentially go to the bathroom if you asked the front and people in front or behind you to go, or if you had more than one person there, they would save the line. See, British folk, we don't mind a queue. Yeah. I worked the back of that line, and it was epic. So there was, and people would ask, hey, what's the wait from this point? And I was like, any answer I give you will be the wrong answer, because I could tell you a couple hours, and then 6 hours later, you haven't even gotten to the merch line yet. And so I didn't want to tell you, I didn't want to tell people in line, hey, it's going to be X number of minutes or X number of hours. We did figure out at the end of the conference, ironically enough, if we probably have asked people about what time they got in the line and then, moved up a little bit and said, hey, or moved back and said, okay, what time did you get in the line? You could say, well, in 15 minutes, they moved this far, that kind of thing. So we were trying to figure out how we might measure that at some point in the future. But yeah, LineCon the first and even part of the second day was quite interesting. People were like, oh, they don't have any more XL shirts. And I was like, well, you could get a 3 or 4X shirt and, potentially have it tailored down to your size if you want to go that route, or, get what works. So, but that was good. Let me see, virtual booth. I'd actually wanted a t-shirt and stuff. There was actually flags that they had. They had like rainbow flags of Defcon. They had, the regular flags. And, let me see, did they have, let me see. Oh, they had stickers in the Defcon handout as well. I didn't realize that. So they had stickers. Yeah, so you got a thing of stickers here. So let me see. They had ham radio exams. They had QueerCon, which was great. QueerCon Mixer. They had the Diana Initiative. They had the Toxic Barbecue, which I thought about going to, but then I realized it was outside in 100-degree weather. And from what I understand from people who went, it was a little on the warm side. They have VetCon. Jack Rysider came from Darknet Diaries. Got to see Jack again. It's always good to see him. He signed some of his comics at the event, courtesy of Black Hills Information. Let me see, sticker swap, of course. They had a policy booth. They had a policy village. They had AppSec Village was very busy. They had a DEFCON run. So I think at 6 in the morning, you could get a number and go and actually run in Vegas at DEFCON. Now, okay, sure. If you like running, that is definitely something you can do. I like a bit of ham radio just connected to web WSRs, web SDRs for Lissimbos, thinking about my foundation exam here in the UK, which allows about 10 watts, I think. Oh, okay. I think next year, if they allow me to come back, because as a provisional goon, they have to commiserate between all of the goons that I interacted with, make sure that it was a positive experience coming out of me, and that I am somebody that they can, feel comfortable bringing back, and that I'm not a detriment to the organization. And I want to be confident that I'm going to be accepted, but I also know that maybe some people just didn't like me. So, this was interesting. They had a pinball high score contest. It was on level 1, hall 4. So they had like W1, W2, W3, W4 in the convention center, and hall 4. And actually 2, 3, and 4 were all just one big ass room, but you could pretty much figure out what aisles they were in. You could actually get your license. I don't know if you can get the UK version of it or if it's worldwide kind of license, but you could definitely get your licenses, I think up to technician, according to the villages that were there. They had a ham radio fox hunt that was kind of cool. They had a data deduplication, or no, not a data duplication village. So if you had a hard drive that you needed duplicated, you could come in, bring them in, and they would duplicate the data across that. I guess that's something to do, but yeah, there was definitely people that were available to copy from one hard drive to another. I'm not exactly sure why, but maybe it was for a forensic thing, like doing a 1-for-1 transfer of all of your music or what have you. That was pretty good. They also had Lonely Hackers Club, so if you were by yourself, they have where you can meet people and go and hang out. I'm not sure what was involved with that one. I didn't go into that village. They had ICS Village, which was another good one. They had IoT Village as well, and they showed you how to make an IoT device, and also, you know, they turned on some lights, and they had a bunch of other IoT devices. I went in there because I have a morbid curiosity, because I work in an IoT space, and I was kind of worried about our products actually being in that village. Thankfully, none of those existed in there. Any PGP key parties? If there were, I don't know if they existed. But there was pinball. They had a pinball contest there. They had a quantum village, which I made the comment that, you know, what did I say? What did I say? Yes, the quantum village only exists when you observe it. So this was the quantum village in you know, section 3 there. I think it was a really good year overall, whooping ya. I didn't hear any negative comments about the venue itself. I really think everybody enjoyed it. I want to say it was probably healthier. I'm not saying that you wouldn't get COVID, you wouldn't get con crud, but the fact we had 300,000 square feet, it was all air conditioned. There was numerous places for people to just sit along a wall, or there were tables and chairs and people could sit down and commiserate and talk, and the Wi-Fi worked pretty well. I never actually connected to it. But yeah, a lot of folks there, plenty of people who got involved. And yeah, I think it was just a really great time. If you were interested in coming to that. Now I don't go to Black Hat. I haven't been to Black Hat. I've been to the, what amounts to the lobby con outside. Saw some people there, but, I think if you want to go to B-Sides Las Vegas and then Defcon, those are probably the two things that you could go to that you would get a good cross-section of what it means to have, like, I think it's like hacker family, kind of like with DerbyCon where we had hacker family kind of feel. I think B-Sides and Defcon will kind of give you that hacker feel. Everyone fits, right? Everyone fits in somewhere. There's always something for someone to do. There's affinity groups. There's, you know, if you're a furry, they had FurryCon. My friend Yax was running the Pillow Fort Village and Pillow Fort Con. If you like music, we had MCO My, we had Whitey Cracker. We had a bunch of folks, you know, doing the you know, the DJ and music bits on Saturday night. You know, it's so much to do. And, you know, some people are like, well, I want to do it all. You really can't do it all. Some of the time is, you know, you want to kind of plan ahead. You know, if you're going to LA, you're not going to see everything in LA. You're going to pick a handful of things or 2 or 3 things that you're going to be able to do. And you're going to go to those. And you may find out that 2 or 3 things you're going to do didn't really fit you. So you're going to be there for about 15 minutes and you're going to move along. But yeah, there's, you know, the Defcon page that I showed you has, the media server has links to all of the content, I think, for Defcon 32, including not just music, which I don't know if there's any kind of like attribution if you decide to use these. I was going to use some of this stuff as a background to, you know, the stream here. I probably do need to reach out to Defcon and go, hey, what's the license on using some of this information? Let me see. Do I have no internet connection? What the hell's going on? Did we crash the server? No, I'm not that popular. That link is fantastic. Sure. Yeah, and actually, I think they go back all the way. So I believe, so if you go to defcon.org, server's running a little on the slow side. Yeah, server's running a little bit on the slow side. But there's forums, there's groups, there's a Defcon Discord, there's an RSS, there's a Tor site if you want to access it more securely. Oh, thanks. I shall. Yeah, good stuff. Thank you. I have, I'm drinking Airheads Cherry electrolyte water. So anyway, yeah, I think they have Defcon 32, 31, 30. I think they have a bunch of stuff from the Defcons previously in there as well. So You can go and read the PDFs. They probably have similar music and what have you. But yeah, go check out that stuff. And yeah, forums. Yeah, there you go. So there's Defcon forum. You can go grab that one as well. Okay. It was kind of disheartening sometimes to go to Reddit and see people talking negatively about the the people who try to make DEF CON as safe for everyone as it can be. As a safety operations person, my job was not to police people. It was to make sure that everybody was safe and that they could have the best conference that they could have. And yeah, if you checked your bags at the airport and you left something in your checked bag, you're probably not going to have it. So that's the other thing. They also talked about something called Defcon Franklin. But yeah, going back to my story, there was a lot of folks who said, every time you hear the goons are loud, they yell too much and what have you. I did not lose my voice like some of our goons did. A lot of times it is hard for people to project over thousands of people or to say the same thing over and over and over again. One of the things that we were told was you will get asked questions about like, where's track 2? And what you don't realize is right above you is a big ass sign that says track 2. So I got some of that, but I'm fairly easygoing in that case. And I had my kryptonite in, so I was feeling pretty good. Generic Ritalin for the win, that kind of thing. But yeah, I didn't mind answering those questions. One of the, during the training, they were like, yeah, you're going to get people that it's a new facility. They don't know where things are. They don't have a map, even though I think there was a map in the big thing here. The one thing that we did get asked was to make sure people have their badges, because we want people to come in, but we want to make sure that the people who paid to be there are able to get in and do those things. And line control was a thing that the SOC people do, because people, humans, goons alike, we tend to congregate. Some of our lines started bulging a little bit. We had to do things like, the fire department was always on us about making sure that we kept escape doors or fire doors open. So, you have this big ass line that's going down this long ass hallway, big ass line, long ass hallway. Exit doors, fire doors, doors to the stairs, bathrooms. You had to keep those gaps. And so on top of that, you've got people that will get up in line and there'll be 5 foot of space between them and the next person behind them. So you're like, can we please compress the line? Can we please? And people are like, all you say is compress the line, whatever. Line management's important. If you have 20,000 people in a line and everybody's spaced 5 feet apart or single file, you're going to run out of space. You're going to have people, standing out in 100-degree weather while we get those processed. So we tried to do things like 3, 4 abreast in the line. We tried to make the lines long as we can and wide as we can, and still allow, like a middle area where people could walk down. But yeah, I mean, people will naturally spread, and to make the lines more efficient, we ask people to kindly move up. Some people don't take kindly to moving up or having to move up, or they'll sit down and it's like, oh, no, we're making you move. And so you had problems, with some folks that are like, oh, they're just telling us to move. And, when you're standing 2 feet away from somebody and you have to let 100 people know, a handful of people are going to get yelled at for all intent if you're projecting. I tried not to yell at people. I tried to keep it light. I made jokes like, the line's so long, it's, the end of it's in Laughlin, Nevada. I actually got called on that, by the way. Somebody called into the hotline and said, the goons' jokes suck. And I was like, oh, that actually kind of hurt me. It kind of hurt me. But I tried to be nicer about it. I actually let people know that they please don't report me for my humor. I'm just trying to keep everything kind of light. Everybody was kind of cool and chill with that. But yeah, you can see all the kinds of stuff that are going on here with the badges. But I would say for the most part, everybody was great, including the goons. And it's a Herculean effort put on by all of our volunteers, whether it be the SOC goons, the vendor goons. The humans were great too. I mean, I loved talking with everybody in the line, talking, hearing about where they came from. A couple of folks from Africa who had never been to the United States. So their first experience of coming to the States is to go to a hacker conference, which they'd also never been to, and they'd also never been to Vegas. So I was like, wow, okay, that's amazing. I hope you all can, spend some time and see the city and hang out. I just loved it. I also have I don't want to say a newfound respect for professional goons, like, the people that work at, not McDonald's, but like Disneyland, that have to be a crew member, have to deal with being a goon on a regular basis and having to work with people from all walks of life who may be frazzled, who may have something not going their way. They're having a bad day, and they get told something, and then they get told something else. And, well, this person just told me to come over here and do this thing. I have a newfound respect for a lot of those people that have to do professional gooning on a regular basis at fairs and amusement parks and concerts and things like that. So I did find some additional empathy there, which is good. So, I mean, I'm always fairly empathetic to those folks, but you feel it, when you're working that out. So, forgot to bring my drive to DDV, so now I have to torrent it myself. Oh, so actually Dark Tangent said I'm getting ready to generate an updated torrent with DC32 content. I'll do that once we get all the videos online. So here's a link. Hold on, let me share this proper. Copy link. There you go. Here's a torrent, I believe, if you want to grab that. Oh, I didn't. Oh, sorry for all the UTM spam. Probably won't be the last time, but yeah. So you can grab that and see what's available for that torrent. DDV's Data Duplication Village. So yeah. That's infocon.org, so that's that was another one there. Yeah, so here's a goon, Shorzy, for being cool, and I said, see, 7-hour-long queue to buy a T-shirt. It's a clothing company disguised as a hacker convention. That's pretty good. Oh, hey, here's one for you, whooping ya. Somebody said, fear of FOMO, commend any good hacking conferences in the UK, preferably near London. So here's EMF Camp. That's a biennial event in the UK. Next one's in 2026. So apparently we must have just missed it there. Next there in the Netherlands, wide 2025, the 9th quadrennial Hacker Summer Camp. Ew, they have it every 4 years? Really? I mean, I can understand maybe every other year, but dear God. Dear Hacker Camp visitor and org member, Big Dutch Hacker Camp, what hackers yearn 2025. Okay, so, they met Orga Meet Fall Fest September 7th, 2024. So, go check that one out. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Share the link. Share the links. Here, I'll just share the thread. That way, you can go grab that on that as well. And, but it was great meeting all the goons, meeting people. Some of the folks. It was funny because a couple of them, Zot and Aster, who are our more senior goons, meaning that they're higher level leadership and whatever. We were at CabanaCon, which is for the goons afterwards, and we were chatting and hanging out. How do you know InfoSec, whatever. I was like, yeah, I used to run a conference up in Seattle called InfoSec Camp Out, and they're like, oh, that's you? And I was like, oh, you came to the conference and stuff. So lot of they now know me through, when I did Hacker Summer Camp for camping conference up in Seattle. There had been rumblings, and somebody had suggested, hey, we should do something else down here in San Diego because Tour Camp is up there. TourCon is not being done anymore in San Diego, which is another, is what they used to do in the off years. So they did Tour Camp up in Seattle. They do TourCon down in San Diego. But there was a suggestion that perhaps maybe we could do a camping conference in San Diego. And my roommate, Coyote, had said, yeah, there's like a handful of places that we could go to. There's like Catalina and Potrero, and, you could even do it out in Palm Springs, but you'd want to do it in like maybe the winter time when it's like only 60 to 70 degrees. And I was like, cool, yeah, let's do some of that. So I'm not saying that we're doing it, but I'm trying to understand the feasibility of doing a conference like that. So there's a place out in Potrero, which is close to the Tecate line. So here's Tecate, Mexican. This is the Mexican border to the U.S. Tecate is down there. Potrero's out in this area. He had mentioned that they do SCA events out there. I'm talking myself into trying to do another conference. Yeah, I think this time, after seeing DEFCON and knowing that we have people that are hungry to do another conference, maybe we could definitely do something. They said that this place out in Potrero, I think it's this county park here, but they have SCA events there. So the Society for Creative Anachronism does like events out there. Yeah, that's this one here. But they have RV hookups, at least I think they do. And, there's areas where you can go and get a Starbucks if you need to. There's not a lot here, but you can definitely go and, grab stuff if you need it. There's cafe down here. But yeah, there was Catalina. He also mentioned Catalina, which I was like, oh, okay, that's out here. That's San Clemente Island. Where's Catalina? Oh, Catalina, here it is. So he's like, yeah, we could go out to Catalina. There's a lot of places to you can camp out here. You've got Avalon, which has some hotels and stuff, but there's a lot of camping spots here. You could actually, do things like snorkeling and beach, be on the beach, and there's several places to go. And I was like, oh, okay, that'd be kind of interesting. But yeah, so, and then of course, there's Palm Springs, which is up here. That's Vegas. Let's see where Palm Springs is. Oh, damn it. It's like 2.5 hours from Vegas. That's it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so Palm Springs is right there in relation to San Diego. That's where I live. LA. So you could, fly into, LA. Take a little bit of a drive out to Palm Springs, but there's plenty of things to do out there. Coachella's out there, so obviously there's camping available there. Some people had mentioned the Salton Sea, which I'd already been investigating ahead of time, but there's nothing out here. I mean, it's a whole lot of nothing. So yeah, just and never mind. It looks like anyway. Yeah. So, I mean, there's options. We're gonna, look into maybe not doing something this year, but maybe next year. I talked to some of my friends and see what we can do there. May not be big, but yeah, definitely looking at doing something different. If you're interested in the Discord server, there's a couple of Discord servers. Oops, guess I could join the DEFCON Discord. I just joined the DEFCON Discord. Yeah, but I've not been to Black Hat, and I understand that it's probably as corporate as it can be. I've heard a lot of people saying it's very corporate. The talk, the tickets are very expensive. I will say, full disclosure, as a goon, I was comped a ticket, so, and as a volunteer or a goon, your hotel is free. Your hotel room is free for every day you work. So I came out positive on that, which is great. I actually didn't know. I thought I was going to have to pay for my hotel room. So it was nice to see, and it's a good conference. So if you ever had a chance to go, I would definitely invite yourself to come and stay a couple days. You don't want to try to do too much or try to get back and do that, but just trying to get to Mars with a bag full of ketamine and a Bible of acid. Jesus. The one thing you have to remember when you go on Defcon Reddit is this is like the people with the opinions on here are like the 1% of 1%. Some of them didn't even go to Defcon. They just remember what it was like 15 years ago, and they don't like what happened now, and it's all that. Out of the 30,000 people, I think I saw maybe 20 or 30 posts. So you're looking at 1% of 1% who may have had an issue, and we welcome feedback. I'm on the internal, DEF CON Discord right now for our safety operations people, and we're doing lessons learned. I mean, we had a brand new venue. So new to me, it was new to a lot of the folks at the conference. So we're identifying things that could be improved upon. I'm not saying we did them wrong. We just things need to be improved upon. And as a good organization, you should always be trying to improve your own organizations. So. Really, and if you love makerspace stuff or you love being in makerspace, it's definitely something you can go do. So, anyway, yeah, it's good times. There's actually a DEF CON badge Discord as well. Discord DEF CON badge. Here it is. DEF CON. No. Where's the badge Discord? There was one. I know there was. Badges. Badge suggestions. DEF CON badges. Source code sources. I think this is where you can get source code for Black Hat? No. Yeah, VetCon was another one. If you're a veteran, you could go in there. They had some t-shirts and things. It's kind of a mixer for that. But yeah, so, that was my experience with that. I mean, if you have any questions, if you're lurking or you're not lurking, if you went to DEF CON or if you have any questions about DEF CON in particular, I'll do what I can to answer them. Otherwise, you might want to go to DEF CON Reddit and ask your questions there. As you can see, even Dark Tangent, who runs the organization, is on there as a moderator, and he does answer some of the questions. I can't guarantee that he will answer your question, but they're definitely available. And I would just ask that if you read about any of the controversies from DEF CON, I would say watch Deviant's video, read some of the other posts inside the Reddit about, from the other side of the, especially from the media side. I mean, if it bleeds, it leads, right? So some of the titles of the articles that you might see from the media, very much clickbaity, and there's definitely another side to these stories. And get all of the facts before you make a decision about what happened. So just a thought there. So I've definitely learned a lot, and I have these were collectibles. I'm going to be probably handing them out. I wish I'd had some stickers coming, some new logo stickers, but I was unable to have them. I had Canva supposedly shipped them to me on August 1st. It was August 8th, and I didn't get them. I come home from DEF CON thinking, oh, they'll be waiting for me because my wife just didn't tell me my package was delivered. Still didn't get them. So I reached out to Canva, and they're like, oh, we're very sorry. It probably got lost in shipment. And I was like, how do you people do business? That's what the tracking number's for, to be able to track these things. And so they offered to redo them again at no charge. And they said, if the other ones happen to show up, just keep those. So a very real possibility I could end up with 1,000 stickers and not be able to do anything with them, because I think the next conference we're going to be going to will probably be B-sides next year. So I'm going to be sitting here with a bunch of freaking stickers. So yeah, but it is what it is. So I think I'm going to cut it a little short. I know, I wanted to do some malware stuff. We'll do that probably on Tuesday, where we'll continue, go back to analyzing some malware, maybe talk about some news and stuff. But I'm, in addition to coming back home after that, we had some issues with our fur babies, and it seemed like all 3 of our cats got sick around the same time. I don't know if it was stress because we had a bunch of people in the house or whatever, but I ended up having to take my boy to the emergency room Wednesday, to have some IV put in, some fluids, because he got severely dehydrated. And my boy, who's normally around 20 pounds, ended up losing about 5 pounds of weight, which is not good. And we were concerned that there was something else wrong with him. So that was a bit of a sad thing to come back after having a really good week and seeing my boy feeling ill and unhappy. And so he's, I think, I want to say he's out of danger, but it was weird to see him losing like 5 pounds of weight. He was a chunky boy, but he's no longer a chunky boy. And I have to remind myself, he's like 15 years old, so he's not young anymore. And any little thing could cause him issues. So, yeah, my boy and Papau, who, I don't think y'all have met them, but Mama Kitty was also feeling unhappy. And I think it was because my mother came out and visited for a week. She went home on like Sunday. It was not even a week later, and I'm gone to Defcon for 5 days. At the same time, my wife had her friend and her significant other come in. So there was a lot of upheaval, a lot of things going on, and I'm hoping it was just stress. So hopefully we won't have any more issues, and they're on the mend. So yeah. Hope everyone has a good weekend. I'm going to be decompressing from this. I will say there wasn't a lot of anxiety from me. I actually, I don't know what they were expecting as a noon or as a person who gets, picked up as a goon, if they expected a lot of hand holding or what have you, but I didn't get stressed. I didn't get weirded out by what had happened. It was, in my opinion, manageable. There wasn't anything like, oh my God, I need to worry about this. I told people I have more stress at work than I did at working my first Defcon. So it was good. It definitely showed how professional the SOC goons are and how much they care, because going on behind the scenes and getting debriefed in the briefings in the morning, it was good to see all of the work that goes in behind the scenes to make these kinds of things happen. So yeah, whooping you. Good to see you as well. Let's go see if we've got anybody on. I wanted to see Tiberius. I hadn't had a chance to say hello to Tiberius. Another good friend of mine, Soldier of Fortran. He was hanging out at one of the villages. I didn't get a chance to see him either. Oh, T-Pain's on. Oh, sweet. Okay. Leak Beats, Shadow Tech. Let's see, Reactive Compilation, Game Dev, Streamathon. Okay. Starting projects, Coding Friday. Mostly Maxi. Okay. Yeah, I like Tibbs, GoPro Slow-Yo, Tibbs, Taggart, MT Taggart, all those folks. So yeah, good people. Mostly Maxie. There we go. Well, we'll go and hang out with mostly Maxie. It looks like Coding Friday, which is great. And yeah, I hope everyone has a good weekend, and I'll see you back on Tuesday. Y'all take care, and we'll see you all soon, okay? Oh, yeah, GoPro Soloio is excellent teaching people, and has a great way of teaching folks. So, but yeah, hope you have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves, and as we're always fond of saying, take care of yourselves because you're the only you have. All right, take care, y'all. Bye.